Hi, thank you for joining me. You are greatly appreciated. I want to thank you all for your kind comments and subscriptions. You are so greatly appreciated. Today's video is about the qualities of a woman of God or wife. The qualities of a woman of God or wife. Please hit that thumbs up, share if you feel led, subscribe if you feel led. It's totally free for you and greatly appreciated by me. Okay, so I have a few Bible verses that I want to read for you. I haven't slept in the past few days, and last night I got like 2.5 hours, so bear with me. The past few days have been, last week was rough. Last week I went through other stuff. A lot of spiritual warfare on my end because I'm pushing through and pushing these messages out. That's what happens for some of you guys. It can happen too. You'll notice when you're trying to do better, you're trying to do you're about to have a breakthrough, or you're trying to do whatever purpose that God asked you to do. You will have like some type of trials and tribulations. You may have spiritual warfare. You just got to do your best and push through the best you can, okay? And give yourself some grace during that time, okay? So this is 1 Corinthians 11 verse 3. 1 Corinthians 11 verse 3, KJV version. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. And then I have 1 Corinthians 11 verse 9. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. And then I have Ephesians chapter 5 verse 21 through 23. I'm only going to read, I'm going to read the whole thing. Yeah, I'm going to read the whole thing. So Ephesians chapter 5, verse 21 to 23. Submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of body. Okay. And then, 1 Corinthians 6, verse 18 to 20. I'm only going to read 18 on this one. If you want to read 19 and 20 and you feel led to, wonderful. So it's 1 Corinthians 6, and I'm going to read 18, but 18 to 20, feel free to read, okay? Flee fornication. Every sin that a man doth is without the body, but he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body. So, I'm not by any means or way encouraging fornication. That's not what we're talking about here. We're just talking about when you're dating, or things to look for when your kingdom spouse may come in. Just because you date doesn't mean you're fornicating. You know what I mean? And it could be when you're like having conversations with people or meeting them at your day-to-day activities stuff, whether it be, on strolls, in your neighborhood or at the park, or if you go to the gym, or, running your errands and doing grocery shopping. You never know where you could meet them, right? Okay. So, trigger warning for some ladies. And I also want to do a disclaimer for if there's any parents who are allowing their kids to watch this video. This video is 18 and up, and parental, guidance is suggested if you're allowing them to watch it. Okay. She is submissive to her husband. Women of today don't like to be submissive. Some women, not all. And again, I will say some women of today, not all, don't like to be submissive. Some women call their men's name, men names like deadbeats and losers, and, the female dog name, etc. They put the man in their life down and call them names and wonder why that's what they get. They wonder why the men cheat. I'm not saying that some men aren't cheaters, even when you don't say these mean things to them. just giving an example. So that would be like what I would consider things that for us women we can work on, because this video is about qualities, about red flags of a woman, and things we need to work out. And I would consider that a red flag, being like verbally abusive or aggressive. And in today's age, all of us would want to be that independent chick, that boss, you know what. And I get that. There's nothing wrong with that. But in the process, we need to learn to be submissive. And I get that there's some men that don't deserve being submissive to because of their qualities. I'm talking about being submissive to your man that's, your kingdom spouse that God sent you. You know what I'm saying? So like, I myself have not been perfect on this either. I come from a very tough military family, and that is something that God has worked on and through me through this process. I, in the past, was very tough, and I wouldn't say lots of names, but you shouldn't say any names. Should we be calling our spouse stupid or anything like that? No. And so I am not blaming any of you and accusing any of you of doing this. I'm just putting this out there because it was something that I even didn't notice that I had come accustomed to, and it was a habit that for some things that I had done, and it was something that I had to work on because, in today's society, you see, and sometimes it has to do with things you've been through in your past too with certain men. But today's society, and again, I'm not saying all women are like that and all people are like that, but you do see a lot of them kind of like calling men names a lot and treating them like bad. And as you can see, we are not supposed to be doing that. And again, not all men are kingdom spouses. You do have those men who are verbally abusive and some of those things right back to you. But let's work on these things if we have them within ourselves, because what you are is like what you attract. You know what I'm saying? So let's work on these things, ladies, so that we have more positive and encouraging and supportive and loving relationships, Okay, so we're going to go with the qualities and then we'll go back to the red flags. I just wanted to say that right away. A woman who dresses classy. She doesn't have everything hanging out all the time. And I get we want to be sexy. Don't we all want to be sexy? But sometimes you see people with like everything hanging out. And I'm not judging, but I would say a woman who is classy, who dresses classy, would be a quality of a woman of God. Because some stuff I see, I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, well, you do you, girl. We can't judge, but I wonder if a man of God would be interested in that, in a woman of God to be dressed like that. You know what I'm saying? A woman who is submissive, a woman who has respect for herself. You know what I mean? She holds herself at higher regards than a lot of people these days. She's not putting overly promiscuous pictures and stuff online, right? A woman who is kind and patient, a woman who respects you, a woman who is a caretaker. She cooks, she cleans, she does laundry, etc. And we're not going to be able to do it all, especially if we're working. But, you have some of those qualities. You may cook, and you may have some help that comes in to clean the house, and you may do the laundry, or some may like to clean the house, and you guys, the husband and wife, cook together, or they have someone who cooks for them. They may have help in that form. Doesn't mean you have to cook, clean, do laundry, work, take care of the kids, pay the bills. Doesn't mean you have to do all that, but these are some qualities of them. I think sometimes women are expected to do all those things, cook, clean, do the laundry, take care of the kids, work, handle the bills and take care of all this stuff. And, they're human too. There's only so many hours in the day. But if they have some of those qualities, I would think that would be good qualities of a woman of God or wife. A woman who respects you. A woman who, I already said that. A woman who watches football or your favorite sport or your favorite hunting show or, whatever it is you may be into. She wants to spend that time and bond with you sometimes. Doesn't have to be all the time, Maybe she doesn't like sports, but maybe she wants to spend time doing something else with you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like whatever else you may be into. Maybe you like hunting. Maybe you like fishing. You know what I mean? She's interested in some things that you are interested in. She wants to spend time with you and connect with you through those things. A woman who is attentive, a woman who is affectionate, a woman who makes the home peaceful. She's not ranting and raving, screaming and shouting, arguing and complaining all the time about everything. A woman who is quiet and dignified, she spreads love and joy and peace and patience and kindness. A woman who is faithful and gentle. A woman who can trust you. She can trust you, and a woman you can trust. You can trust her that she's not going to blow all the money. When the check comes in, gets deposited in the account, she's not going to go blow all the money on that latest expensive designer purse when you have bills and stuff to pay. She's going to handle the bills first, and then, after you discuss those things with you and see what's needed or most important at the time and what you guys can do and can't do at the time. She doesn't speak ill of her husband, like I was talking about. She doesn't put him down. She's not vindictive, on purposely trying to hurt his feelings or do things to make him mad or sad. She praises and encourages her husband. She's not selfish. She's not vain. She keeps up with herself, She cares how she looks for herself and you. She tries to be as positive as possible. She thinks of the family's needs as a whole. You know what I'm saying? And of course, she fears the Lord. And like today they're saying that sometimes they'll say like that men want a woman who, just cooks and cleans and stuff. But I think like sometimes a godly woman or a godly woman can also be ambitious. Doesn't mean she has to be like, I'm ruling the house, you know what I mean? Because obviously from the verses we just read, the man is supposed to be the head, but she has goals. She can have goals. She can have dreams, she can have ambitions, as well. Okay. And then let's go over some red flags. These are just some examples. Of course, if you guys have any more, please add it in the comments section. And if you guys have any stories or examples or anything that you would like to add to this, if we get enough comments and enough views, then we can do a part 2 and discuss them and help each other out, right? So ladies and men, please, comment on both videos if you feel led to, if you would like to, and then we can help each other to make hopefully better decisions moving forward and pay attention to these red flags and good qualities, right? Okay, so here's some more red flags, because I know I started kind of with the red flag. Red flags of a woman. She may be promiscuous. She is focused on herself. She's selfish. She is verbally and emotionally and or physically abusive. Because women can do that too nowadays. Well, probably always have. Who knows? It's just more noticeable. She won't clean or cook or do laundry at all. She doesn't want to clean, be bothered with the house. And again, if you have enough money and you can afford a chef and you can afford, help to come in and clean and do the laundry, more power to you. These are just some examples, so please don't get triggered by them. We're just saying if it needs to be done and it's not in the budget to do some of these things, it'd be great to have that wife do it or woman do it for you. And again, she doesn't have to do them all. She doesn't have to clean, cook, work, do laundry, take care of the kids all. But these are some red flags if she won't do any of them, you know? And especially if you can't afford to get the help you need. Okay. Yeah, she doesn't have to be like a slave, you know? Or perfect at all. She will cook and does this. Yeah, sometimes you'll cook and you don't clean, vice versa, or do laundry, you know, etc. She flirts with other men in front of you. She dresses inappropriately. She is non-committal and hooks up with different men often. Okay. Which I said earlier, which is promiscuous. Same thing. You can, and then I wanted to ask you guys about this. Male or female, what you think? Do you think you can make a hoe a housewife? So a lot of people say you can't make a hoe a housewife. I don't know. I beg to differ. I think some people can change, right? Like say they have a come to Jesus experience, you know, God's touched them and he's changed them and, you know, you can change. I know I've changed in a lot of ways and I'm not saying I was a hoe or this or that, but I'm just saying I know I've changed in a lot of ways. So who's to say anyone else can't to that extent? You know, when they say you can't make a hoe a housewife. But I think if she's been saved, if she's had her, you know, if God's been working on her, through her and in her life, you know, she's been touched by the Holy Spirit, I think you can change. But that's my opinion. You can let me know yours if you'd like. I could be wrong. Never said I was always right. What do you think about fake boobs, men? You know, women too. What do you think about people who get fake boobs and BBLs, plastic surgery, Botox? What do you think about makeup in excess? You know, other surgeries, lipo and stuff. What do you think about extensions and or weaves? You know, because women of all races wear extensions and weaves and stuff like that now, you know? Just curious what everyone thinks about it, men and women, you know, because there's some women who don't wear it. They wear their natural hair, and there's some women who do. And there's men who may like it, and there's men who may not like it. You know, I'm just curious, would you prefer them to be natural or would you prefer them to be, you know, to have all these enhancements? Just curious. Please be honest, you know? Does it depend on how extreme it is? You know what I mean? On the how extreme of the surgery that they may have done. If they've just done something that may look somewhat natural, would you be okay with it? Or versus something that's just, you know, va 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 voom? Just curious. And, you know, another thing I've heard some guys say, I watched this one channel and this guy's like this animated character and it's an animated like vampire character. And I mean, he was like dogging women and the dating scene and what women are doing now, etc. He's like this animated vampire, right? And he was saying like you go to sleep with one woman and you wake up with another, or like in the daytime you're with one woman and then when you go to bed and wake up it's with another, you know, because of all the fake lashes and makeup and etc. like that. So I'm just curious to see how you guys feel like that. Do you guys feel the same way, you know, about those things? Just curious. And thank you for those who do comment on it. And then I was talking to this lady one day, you know, and she was telling me about the dating scene and what she was going through and stuff like that. And like I said, I talk to people and they tell me like all their business, their life stories, all this stuff. And like, they don't know me. You know what I mean? It happens quite often. And, you know, she was telling me about some experiences she had. And she was saying that like, Nowadays she was on like dating apps and you go on dates, and she was saying like she had been on like 50 first dates, kind of something like that. Like she was saying like way more than that. What did she say? Like 300 first dates or 100 first dates? Something crazy like that. I was like, wow. I mean, like, it's that easy? Because I wouldn't know. But anyways, I'm not on a dating app, but I was like, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of dates. And then she was like, yeah, we go on dates, and then, guys, the bill will come. She'll say the bill will come. And then she's like, they'll ask, hey, are we going to sleep together? Once the bill gets there. And she's like, no. And she said, if not, they're like, oh, well, you can pay half. Wow. I was totally shocked about that. Like, totally shocked. I'm like, what? Okay. And then she's like talking about coffee dates, how she likes coffee dates over like dinner dates because they're not as long. And if you and the person don't click, connect, or like each other, etc., you can, it's very short and then you can leave. And then, of course, there's probably not a big bill. I guess the guy's willing to pay for a coffee date, or she'll pay for her own coffee date, right? Whatever. I don't drink coffee, though. So what would I drink? Do they have smoothie dates? Okay. So I wanted to speak to you men on this part. And women, chime in, of course, if you think I'm wrong or you want to add to it, or you have any comments or anything about this. Gentlemen, do you know how much time and effort and money it takes ladies to get ready for a date? Before they even go on the date? I mean, we get our nails done, which can cost like $150 easy. That's just one thing. $150 for most women. And these are just some examples. Not all women do all these things, but I'm making examples. They get mani-pedis done. We get our hair done, which can be on the low end $100. And I'm talking low, And way more if you wear like wigs and you get extensions and weaves, braids, etc. Because you got to buy the hair, and depending on if you're buying cheap hair or not, that is very expensive. I mean, that could easily be $100 to $400, if not more, depending on the quality of the hair and who does your hair and what it costs. And then you got to tip. So, do the numbers. 150 nails, 100 to 400, depending on your hair types, whether it's natural, whether you're getting extensions, whether you're getting it dyed, all kinds of things. And it could be more, depending on the qualities. If they don't have an outfit, they go buy an outfit. Women, we go buy a dress. We'll go buy an outfit. And if we don't have the shoes to match, we're going to go get them shoes to match. Okay? What is that right there? I mean, an outfit, let's say on the low end, depending on, what's their type of style, could be at least $100. We're going to go try to be budget friendly here, give or take. Maybe you can get a dress for $50, give or take, but it could be $50 to $100 at least, if not more. And then if you go get shoes, depending on what type of shoes they wear, etc., goodness, that could be $100 and up. They go get their legs waxed, etc. We get our eyebrows done. Some women get their eyebrows done. They do their makeup. We do our makeup. Now, I don't wear makeup, but I know women wear makeup. And I know makeup's not cheap because I have bought it for people in the past for gifts. Makeup is not cheap. Makeup is very expensive, We get our lashes done, and that's not cheap either. Goodness, I think the lashes can be, depending on where you go, at least $100 and up, depending on, where you go and the type of lashes you get. And then you got to tip too. You always got to tip, whether it's lashes or hair or nails or whatever, in that form. Okay? And then before we even go on that date, do you know what it costs a woman to even just show up to have a dinner date or some type of casual date with you most of the time? And I'm not saying all women do this all of the time. It depends on, where you're going and what you're doing, etc. And the type of woman, some women, but it's still costly. It is. So before we even go to that dinner date, it has cost us lots of money, okay? And after all this, when we go to get ready, you want us, after all, we've done all this, after we have done all of this, and when you go to get ready to pay the bill, you're going to say, well, are you going to sleep with me? And if the woman doesn't sleep with you, you're going to say, you got to pay half the bill? That is, I don't know, unbelievable to me. Because again, like I said, you have no idea how much time, money, and effort women put in to even showing up on that date. And then, that's not the only point. I mean, I think it's crazy, but I'm not in the dating scene, thankfully. Now, I'm not saying that this is all men, because again, I know all men aren't like this. I'm not saying that this is all men, okay? Again, not all men are like this. But there are quite a few who are like this, from what she's been on a lot of dates, a lot of dates. And she said that was her experience. And I am hearing a lot of this when I'm like watching stuff online and stuff. But again, I'm not saying this is all men. So I am also not saying that men don't have expenses to get ready for the date. Because I know they do. You might get your hair cut, Some of you might go and get a clean shave, You might buy an outfit or get some shoes. I totally get it. We're not saying you don't have costs. We're not saying you don't put time and effort into the date as well, because I'm sure you do. But what I'm going to ask you guys is, do you think that being intimate with someone is worth a dinner? Do you think that being intimate with someone is worth a dinner? Do you think that getting in their pants and them giving themselves to you is worth a dinner? I think not. And for me, I was like, well, if I ever date, but I don't know, what God's plan is for me, I'm going with flow. And I was like, well, if I ever date again, since I've been set apart, what do I just tell the guys right away, like, I'm celibate and I'm not going to sleep with you for a dinner? So like, if I got to pay half, I'm not going to go, because I could go buy dinner myself and save myself a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And not have someone expect something of me for a dinner. I can go myself, I'll just take myself to dinner. And I've thought about that. I've thought about that. But I wonder if, should I say that in the beginning? Is this something us women should say in the beginning? Like, if we're not going to sleep with them? Because I could stay at home, too. I'm happy staying at home. I could stay at home, take myself to dinner, go to dinner with my daughter. You know what I mean? And I'm wondering if that's something we should just put out there, ladies. Because that girl said she had to put her card down. And I thought, are you kidding me? Wow. And I'm just shocked by that. Are you guys shocked by this? Are you guys in this dating scene? Is this something you guys have encountered? And how do you handle it? Please put in the comments what we should do before someone may ask us out. I'm just wondering if I should just say, I'm not going to sleep with you because I'm not in the hookup scene. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was kind of thinking. I'm not in the hookup scene. So if you are looking for that, then there's no reason for us to go on a date. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Just me. So I would love to hear you guys' comments, male and females. Love to hear your experiences or what you think on this. Well, red flags that you have experienced or noticed in past dating or relationships that you've been in. Would love to hear other qualities that you think that are in a woman of God or wife. I would love to hear just about your dating experience and how it's been, good and or bad. So I just wanted to thank you all so, so very much. You are so greatly appreciated. Prayers and blessings to all. Bye.